welcome to Filmfolket's podcast. We that speaks today is Göran,
Johannes,
Daniel, Tommy.
Today's movie is Nosferatu from 2025. The movie in brief.
Wisburg, Germany, 1838. The lonely pleading of a young woman summons the malevolence of Count Orlok, a sorcerous vampire setting in motion his machinations to claim her as his own.
That is a good summary.
It was a really pretty movie. I like the way they used the contrast of shadows and light in most of the scenes.
It's very artful and expressive. It's I won't say it specifically apes an older style, but clearly inspired by it. It borrows a lot from the original movie from 1922 and 79. And when it comes to the way it's shot, it's a very effective use of lighting, and there's a certain saturation in the colors that is used in a very special way that makes some scenes appear almost black and white.
The one that plays Nosferatu, he really brings a lot of energy to his character, how he speaks and how he bewitched people to gone mad, especially one of the man that was basically sitting naked on the floor and had like a circle with the David star around him.
Yes, I should say that in case you don't know, Nosferatu is effectively the movie version of Abraham Stoker's Dracula, but due to old copyright laws and all those kinds of things, the movie was made into Nosferatu instead, originally, with different names on the characters and different locations. So this madman is effectively this movie's Renfield.
So was it William Dafoe that was playing the character that had read up a lot of information about how Nosferatu works? So can we say that he is this version's Van Helsing?
Yes.
Effectively, yes. What you said about acting for Orlok, I think it's a great thing how Bill Skarsgård uses this forced breathing to really evoke the nature that Orlok is a walking corpse. He isn't supposed to be breathing. He isn't supposed to be speaking. So everything he says, he has to inhale before he speaks. I think that's really cleverly done.
Yeah, he sounds like a chain smoker when he speaks.
Yeah, he really needs to focus to take in air to be able to produce words and sounds. It's really cool. And I like that he's like a walking plague. Really like that part.
And that's a really old thing, that the vampire is a bringer of plague. Is a almost prehistoric part of its nature. It really predates this nocturnal seducer image. It's Orlok is a force of nature. He is a demonic predator, and it really shows.
With all the vampire lore I've like encountered through my life, I never really thought about it, but this movie really brings out the like Lovecraftian horror of just Nosferatu. He wasn't like really a physical being. He was more just a maddening presence throughout the entire story. Yeah, you're right. There was very little physical presence.
it was mostly just shadow and illusions. And I like that too. It was really cool.
The way he haunts Ellen in her psychic visions and the like, they really build up toward you get to see the whole creature, so to speak. He's in shadow and he's out of focus and everything, but then you actually see him, and he's all wrong. He isn't supposed to be that way. He's obviously a corpse, and I think that's some absolutely fantastic creature makeup there. I think we should put an image up there. I have one in mind.
I mean, there was one scene that I thought was a little bit strange when he was basically sucking blood of one of the victims. It almost sounded like he was drinking coffee.
Oh yes, the thing where he attacks Thomas in the castle. That's a really disturbing scene. By the way, he drinks directly from the heart in these huge, disgusting gulps. It's deliberately shot in a way that's supposed to look like he's effectively molesting him, which he is. He's basically using him. So it's very much done in a way to be a repulsive scene.
It's effective.
I like the costume design. It's fitting for the time area, and also how the mobility. They basically act like a person that are at that rank, that they won't believe anything that is out of the ordinary. So I think they play the characters very, very well.
Yeah, that's a plot point actually. How they refuse to believe what's going on, because this is the modern times of the 1800s. These things don't happen, and Orlok also knows this because he outright states before moving to Germany that he basically wants to get away from all these superstitious people and into the modern world, because it is to be understood that only these superstitious people actually know what he is.
And they kind of know how to protect themselves a little bit. And probably because he's annoyed by it.
I also think the horror aspect of this, in that Orlok is a psychologically manipulative creature who flips accusations on his victim and basically does everything he can to control Ellen when he isn't threatening her outright. He's an abusive being, and it's really beyond being this predatory beast, basically. He is also an individual with a truly disgusting core.
I was wondering what could have been done differently, and other thoughts.
Just that, like you said, with the costume design, I think it's really interesting how they have these early 1800s outfits, but Orlok stands out because he has this Eastern European long coat that's actually from the 1500s. It shows his age. It's also that you might think that his mustache is a really strange design choice, but it's supposed to be reminiscent of portraits of Vlad Tepes Draculesti, so that's just how it is.
It was quite majestic, at least.
Yes, and I think it's really effective when he feeds some people and blood gets stuck in the mustache and everything. It really hammers home how disgusting he is. They also made much of the language he speaks. I think the behind the scenes talk and everything, they made a point of saying that he speaks ancient Dacian to point out how ancient he is, but it really isn't ancient Dacian because that's a dead language, and you can really tell it's part of the Romance family, so it's effectively medieval Romanian, and I think that's really interesting. Not a lot is actually different in the extended cut that we watched. You get some longer dialogue in certain scenes, and also a particularly disturbing sequence where Orlok tries to be personable and laugh, but it's basically this dry heaving corpse exhalation. It's yeah, I think we can sum up a lot of things that Orlok is really gross. It's also interesting how story-wise how Ellen basically reclaims control of her life, and it's despite how things go, I think it's a good angle. Thomas is played by Nicholas Hoult, who was also in Renfield. I think that's funny.
Yeah, I also thought that was very funny.
Where you also have this manipulative vampire.
But in more comical way. But still, there's similarities.
And Ellen is played by Lily Rose Depp, who is Johnny Depp's daughter. I think that's interesting. You think Hollywood has a lot of nepotism, but I think she can really act. So she has some incredible scenes there with her emotional outbursts and the way she has these episodes. I think it's really well done.
I thought some of her dialogue was a bit stunted, though. It felt a bit more like she was just reading from a script card than any kind of natural speaking.
It's also fun to see Ralph Ineson, who we saw previously as the father in the Witch movie. I think Eggers makes these great horror movies, and it's nice to see another one.
Yeah, it had a similar vibe to the Witch movie, I feel. It's probably the tone of the movie.
Yeah, so another thing that they basically borrowed from the older movie is the one where Orlok raises his hand from the window in the manor, and you see his shadow loom over the city. That's I think it's from the 70s movie.
I think it was a great movie. I will probably watch it again.
I mean, I think it was a good movie too. The music is very good, a good mood setter to the whole movie, and especially when there is a lot of dramatic scenes, it brings out very well. So I think it's a recommendation for me as well.
Yeah. And I don't think I have anything else to say.
Same.
Yes, I'm pretty much out of notes here.
So, other ideas for next time?
We have our list of ideas from before, and besides that, I think you could look at the list of what our fellow movie buffs have brought up to watch.
So I wish you all goodbye for this time, and don't forget to watch and subscribe and follow our socials. See you next time.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!